about you order porridge?
Okay, we'll take 2 porridges then. And get us your manager, please.
My manager?
Trouble Busters!
So, that's what happened. If anything like that happens again, you can always talk to me, okay? Thank you for saying that. My name is Alan. Since it's my older brother Caleb's birthday after all these years that he raised me on behalf of our parents, we're here to celebrate at a high-end restaurant. I'm gonna make him happy. However, despite my excitement...
Reservation under Alan, right? Oh, you guys look like wonderful people. You're wearing gorgeous clothes to a point we're honored to have you dine with us.
Caleb, how are you feeling? I hope you're not insulted. Of course not. I'm happy that you reserved this restaurant for me. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm gonna make this your best birthday ever.
How about you order porridge?
What? I believe that signifies... that's not what I reserved for our dinner.
Our restaurant serves what suits the best for each and every customer. Since this is a high-end restaurant, we tailor our service to our customers.
I see.
If porridge isn't what you're looking into having, perhaps we can serve you some canned soda or frozen oranges.
Canned soda? Oh, hey!
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's my brother's birthday. I wanted to make him happy, and that's why I went beyond my budget to dine at this restaurant. And I can't let her keep treating us like this. I'm not letting her get away with this. Trouble Busters!
Would you prefer to have some cup noodles instead?
But
But then I strongly recommend you have porridge.
look!
Huh?
Okay, we'll take 2 porridges then. And get us your manager, please.
My manager?
Caleb?
My manager is a busy person, so he won't have the time to visit an ordinary customer's table.
I see. In that case, I'll call him over.
Call him over.
Mr. Caleb!
My manager? Why? What's going on?
We're terribly sorry about this.
What? What are you doing, sir?
What do you think I'm doing? Do you even realize who this gentleman is?
I mean, as you can see...
This gentleman is our major shareholder.
What?
Is that true, Caleb? Why didn't you tell me beforehand? Since you chose this restaurant, I didn't want to tell you anything unnecessary. Oh, Caleb. So, what have you done to Mr. Caleb and his brother, Mr. Allen? He said that he's quite upset when he spoke to me over the phone.
I haven't done anything rude. And also, if he's truly a major shareholder of our restaurant, why is he like this?
Of course I came here on my way after work, so that's why I'm dressed like this.
If he's here on his way after work, perhaps we're mistaking him for someone else.
Mr. Caleb is the CEO of a consulting firm.
The CEO of a consulting firm?
Based on how he's dressed today, I'm assuming that he's on his way back from work after being at a construction company. That's right. I'm surprised you got that right. Kelly, don't tell me that you were treating them rudely based on what they're wearing.
Oh, Mr. Caleb, Mr. Allen, I've been giving you a warm welcome the moment you walked into our establishment. Besides, if you're a CEO, you should have mentioned it in the beginning.
If only I had said it in the beginning, would you have brought us to the Tiger Room as we reserved? The Tiger Room? But this is the Plum Room! My brother reserved the best room here, which is the Tiger Room, right, Alan? I had no idea you knew, since I kept it a secret to surprise you. Alan, you're so easy to tell. But as Mr. Isaac mentioned, we're in the Plum Room. Why is it that we were brought to this room instead of the Tiger Room like we reserved?
I just accidentally brought you to the wrong room.
In that case, why is it that you strongly suggested that we have porridge instead of the dinner course we reserved? What? Did she suggest you have porridge? Kelly, is this true?
Of course not.
She's lying. She insisted that we should order porridge. And not only that, she suggested that we could have canned soda, frozen oranges, and cup noodles. What? Did you suggest to them what they didn't even reserve? And to add, canned sodas and cup noodles? Our customers choose us to enjoy our handcrafted dishes. What were you even thinking?
I don't suppose I did anything wrong with the service I provided them.
You're such a funny person.
What did you just say?
If you really think it's okay to say that, I'd like to hear your opinion too.
My opinion?
Right. You said that you didn't do anything wrong with the service you provided, which means that you'd like to argue what we're saying.
I'm not arguing, I'm only telling the truth. So make sure you get that right.
In that case, can you tell us why you believe that you're telling the truth?
Of course, we'd have to make sure we tailor our service by being considerate with what we serve by changing up the menu.
If that's something you would do, what's the point of reserving the dinner course to begin with? I made sure I made my payments in advance to reserve the room and the dinner course.
Oh no, Mr. Allen, you really don't understand how a high-end restaurant works, do you?
What?
We're known to serve the food that suits our customers the best. That's why we're renowned.
No! We reserved a dinner course for a reason, so you should serve what was reserved. We reserved a private room, so you should take us to the room that was reserved.
Our common sense is not so common in the ordinary world.
If the common sense here is not so common in the common world, I should perhaps reconsider what to do moving forward.
What?
You can't serve the food that was paid for in advance, you can't take us to the room that we reserved, and you suggested that we order porridge off the bat, and you're considering yourself to be a high-end restaurant. At that point, you're not high-end, and you're not even a restaurant!
You're wrong. That was just an appetizer. That's right. It was just an appetizer. At our restaurant, we serve porridge before the meal.
Since when?
You wouldn't know about this, Mr. Isaac. This is something that I've been doing to all the first-time guests on my own.
Even if you've been doing it on your own, you should have served porridge at the end of the meal.
I've been recommending it at the end of the meal, too.
You're lying!
I'm not lying. I mean, you can't even prove that I suggested you have porridge off the bat. Who knows if the two of you are telling the same lie to get me in trouble?
How dare you! What? Without any proof, I still remember you recommending porridge to us off the bat!
That's not going to prove anything.
Well, the fact that you're here standing in front of us is already proof!
What?
Let me ask you a question. What could be the reason why a waitress comes back to this private room without bringing over the ordered food?
As a waitress, I had to greet your party, and that's all there is to it.
But you already greeted us the moment we walked into this restaurant. All you had to do now was to make sure that we get the food that we ordered. So do you realize that it's abnormal to even have you back here in this room?
Well...
So now, why is it that you decided to come back here when you should have let the others assist us too? That's because you were here to tell us something that you didn't want others to hear. For example, to suggest that we have porridge when we didn't even order it. And if you consider it that way, wouldn't it make sense that you're standing here in front of us in this room? So, Ms. Kelly, is that all you wanted to say?
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I'm asking is whether you're willing to apologize at all.
Apologize? Why do I have to apologize to you?
You asked me to prove it, and so I did.
I'll admit it then. I suggested you have porridge, but so what? That's not going to be a valid reason for me to apologize for anything.
Okay. In that case, the future of this traditional restaurant's business operations will be discussed at an emergency shareholders meeting.
What?
What do you mean by that, Mr. Caleb?
You can't do that out of your personal emotions.
This has nothing to do with personal emotions. I was only gonna discuss this matter later on, only because Alan chose to bring me to this restaurant. This is something that I decided after taking a look at this restaurant's business situation as a shareholder. Is this regarding how we've been struggling to generate sales? That's right. I've been concerned about your low sales for a while now, but it's declined even more rapidly in recent months, especially ever since Ms. Kelly was onboarded.
This has nothing to do with me.
And you're the only person who feels that way, but actually, you're the core of the problem.
What exactly is the problem here then?
To tell you the truth, ever since you suggested that we have porridge, I reached out to someone I know who dined here before, and I just got a reply. Let me read it out loud. It's quite ridiculous. Don't tell me it's about Kelly. Based on what Alan and I experienced, I'm sure it's credible feedback.
Ugh.
It seems like you've been diligently deleting all the bad reviews that named you just so your manager doesn't find out. But I guess you couldn't stop the bad reputation from spreading. We had always done everything properly, so it was deeply puzzling and frustrating that our restaurant was getting bad reviews from certain people. But to think it was all her doing, I'm stunned. Mr. Isaac, if you're not aware of this, I'm sure that Kelly has been hiding all the complaints that you've been getting about this. Am I wrong?
I did this for the sake of our restaurant.
If you were to do one thing for the sake of this restaurant, you should have brought it to my attention. Now that our major shareholder is aware of our service standards, I have no choice but to give up on this restaurant.
Give up on this restaurant? You can't do that. I'd end up losing my job if you do that. I pride myself on working at this high-end restaurant. You can't shut down this restaurant out of nowhere.
But this is all happening because of your fault. You should at least bow out of this with dignity.
I can rebuild this business.
What?
Now that we've clarified what was wrong, all we need to do is fix it. I've been running this restaurant all along, so I have no problem doing this.
Really? In that case, do you want to try?
What?
But I'm only giving you 1 month. If you turn things around here, I'll let you guys continue this business.
Thank you very much. I'll assure you that I'll turn things around.
Hey, Kelly! Caleb, are you sure about this? Of course!
All men to wear suits with a tie, and all women are to wear dresses. If that's not possible, we refuse service.
There's a guest who doesn't have on a dress.
Well, please refuse service to them. Welcome.
There are 2 of us. Can we dine in?
Matthew, I am starving. Yep, they're wearing brand-named clothing, purses, and shoes. I'm sure they have a lot in their wallet.
We'll have 2 of the $30 lunch combos.
What? What is it? No, nothing. Why is it the lunch combo? That's the cheapest meal we serve. Matthew, your wallet is so inflated.
These are all receipts.
What?
What? There's a poster that says that this restaurant requires a dress code.
What a shame. I planned on ordering the best dish that's served here. What? Excuse me? The best dish? They must be here for the $500 course. A stack of cash?
Hello, Mr. Holland, Ms. Stanford. Are you already leaving? I came here because you recommended this restaurant.
But when we looked at the poster at the entrance, it said that they'd refuse service if we were not compliant with their dress code. It's a shame, but we're going to the 5-star restaurant that we usually go to.
Oh, they would have spent so much here.
What the heck is going on?
I felt bad for you later on, so I decided to give you a chance by sending some of the CEOs that I have connections with. I never even thought you'd end up refusing service to them.
Why didn't you tell me?
I mean, you were so confident when you told me that the problem was all cleared and that you'd fix it.
Well,
So, I was almost impressed about it, but I never thought this was going on.
you must have known that this would happen.
Of course, but then since you seem so motivated, I was just...
Stop laughing at me. You've been laughing all the time, but you should realize that you're being rude.
And who are you to say that?
What?
I asked a question. Who are you to call someone else rude? You were gifted with a month as you asked for, and yet nothing seemed to have changed. So, I'll be discussing this restaurant's future at the shareholders meeting tomorrow.
Can I just have another month? Just another month.
You don't have any time left, Kelly.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I filed a police report against you for fraud on my way here.
Fraud? Why would I be alleged to have committed fraud?
You've been asking for your customer's occupation when they've been making reservations over the phone, and you've been deciding what to serve your customer at that point.
So what?
That falls under the elements of fraud, specifically obtaining property by deceiving another person.
What? But I've been making sure to serve.
In our case, we ordered a $500 course, but you tried serving us porridge, which costs $5 at most. If you don't consider this fraud, what else would ever be considered fraud?
Well,
To add, you provided a menu that was different from what was actually being served in an attempt to make your customers order that course, which could also be considered fraud from a civil term. This is something I plan on sharing the truth with everyone else around me, including those who ended up being your victim, too. I've filed a police report to criminally charge you for your fraud, and I'll also file a civil lawsuit for your fraud to claim the entire refund, along with everyone else who'll be doing so.
why do I have to go through this trouble? All I wanted to do was to act appropriately as the waitress at a high-end restaurant.
And that was wrong for you to do, which caused this result.
I wasn't wrong about anything. If there's someone who did anything wrong, it was you guys for coming to this restaurant without following the mutual manners to dine at a high-end restaurant like ours.
Mutual manners, huh? All you should care about is to have your guests enjoy your food, but you're coming up with manners on your end.
What's so funny about that?
I mean the fact that both the restaurant wants people to dress well and the customers want to show up looking good all boils down to nothing more than vanity. And yet you've arbitrarily elevated that to the level of manners and speak of it as if it were some universal truth, which I find absolutely ridiculous.
Ugh.
The real dress code and manners aren't about how we're dressed, but it's a demeanor that won't displease others. Well, it seems like you don't understand that fundamental, and that's why this is happening. I hope this becomes a learning opportunity for you.
But please, I want to continue working here at a high-end restaurant. I'm finally getting to work here full-time after working here part-time for all these years. This can't possibly end like this.
You did this to yourself.
Wait, hold on. Don't go.
This was how the restaurant ended up shutting down. Kelly was sentenced to a penalty because of the fraud that she committed, and she also had to be liable for a large refund. She had to sell the unit in a high-rise that she only recently bought, and that was how she managed to pay off her entire debt. But her living situation had changed. She tried to work in a high-end restaurant again, but it wasn't so easy. Because of terrible rumors spreading about her, she never got a job in the restaurant industry again. Since she still had to look for a job, she was hired at a factory, and I heard she works diligently as she puts her head down. And as for me and Caleb, we decided to redo his birthday celebration at another restaurant on a later day. Caleb, once you get married, please use this with your wife. Thanks, Alan. But then, to tell you the truth, I've never even had a girlfriend in my life. What? I guess you guys are siblings after all. Trouble Busters.